Hey guys, what's going on? It's Rob here from Precision. I wanted to break down a trade that I took this week. It was a short from yesterday on Euro in New York session. Now, before we get into that, make sure you subscribe to our channel. There will be more good stuff coming along the way. Let's begin here. So this would be the naked chart I would be looking at right when I come in. So I get into the charts around 4:30, 4:45 a.m. my time. So if I was looking at a completely clean chart, I would mark out all the areas of importance. This here would be ETR, efficient trading range, if that point gets met. This down here would be our imbalance fill, and then down here is a point of inducement. Then we have our Asia lows, which is a medium liquidity. And then we have another inducement here. So there's a couple of things going on here, and we're going to get into all that in a sec. We have our imbalance, which is a catalyst for a reaction. We have liquidity up here that has some importance. Here we have Asia highs that are actually a major liquidity because it is previous day's high. So we can mark that as major. Mark Asia lows as medium. So there's a few things going on here. Obviously, we're ranging, we're not trending, which is the ideal market conditions for the algo system. So the first thing I want to point out is we've taken the highs, we've manipulated the lows, so this becomes a very probable area to take longs off. Here we get further support. In a sec I'll show you guys where we have a little more manipulation. Now another point that would be of relevance to me would be up here. Another inducement. Alright, so super simple day, super clean. These are the points we care about. Anything else is irrelevant. Obviously a strong low down here since it took previous day's high. So the confluence is there to use this for a point of interest. Alright, so like I said, so I get into the charts around 4:45, so we will just fast forward a bit. So here we get a run of our inducement and a run of our Asia lows, which is a medium liquidity. Here we also have a 1 hour manipulation. So the buys are strongly supported. I did try buying this day, it didn't tag me in, so I ended up selling later in the session. Alright, so right here, all the imbalance is filled. We got a really strong reaction. This is a catalyst for me to take a trade. What should have happened is I should have put an order on 50% of this bullish candle. However, I got a little greedy on this one, and what I ended up doing was putting a limit under this candle, and ultimately the limit should have gone here, which would have been the valid area to enter this trade. Like I said, I got a little greedy with the stop loss, and I wanted one extra piece of confluence for this entry, so I actually wanted this low to go. And the reason I wanted this low to go is because we take the highs here, so if we manipulated the lows, to me that would be extra confluence to go up, and also there's that little sliver of imbalance. Long story short, this takes off without me, which is a little bit painful. But it does exactly what is expected of it given the circumstance prior to it. So now we just kind of leave this alone and we wait for our next reactional area. Now this high is weak. It took no liquidity. It came straight down. There's no pullback, so it has to go. So we don't even think about taking a trade off this high. Now, from a liquidity perspective, this actually becomes a point of interest to me. So now we have to go and dissect and see what we're actually tapping into. So this is actually a strong high. It's a great high to trade off of. It actually held for today's short and yesterday's short. Very similar reasons, but we're just going to break down today's. Obviously, this is the 1 hour imbalance I have here. So here we get a nice reaction. Now I kind of expected this trade to fail, but we do get a manipulation here. Took the highs, took the lows. So anywhere within this range, as long as you've taken some kind of liquidity, is a valid short. So I believe here, yeah, so we took it with a wick. Once we took the wick with a body, I believe I entered here. So this was the first trade. Usually go a pip back. Might have even gone like 1.2. This is the first trade. Valid. Price does have some upside potential. We won't talk about it too much here. So this one hits stop loss. Not a big deal. So now we have another point of reaction here. We filled the rest of our imbalance. We've induced the high that initially tapped and took the liquidity. And here we get exactly what I like to see. So this is a 5-minute doji. So this is my manipulation completed. Anywhere in here, usually half the candle is a proper stop. So yeah, I think it ends up being 3.2 or whatever. So throw a limit on that. For targeting, I would essentially take this leg, and we have a couple areas of interest. So TP1 would be the 50 for me. TP2, which does get hit while I am in bed, would be where I would close out. Now the weekly and the daily is bullish. The way this set up, I wasn't really looking to run this low. There is a probability to see some downside action next week, but that's another video of its own. We won't get into that. Alright, so ended up sticking a limit on that. Or hold on a sec, let's actually. And we will fast forward to this took its time to get there. So price took off, tapped me in. I leave my stops open for quite some time. Like I don't break even very quick. I sooner take the loss than take a break even 2 candles after. You see a lot of people that'll break even when price has gone here or something silly like that. And ultimately, majority of the time, the reaction does get retested. So again, I leave my stops open for a while. Yeah, so we're gonna go to 5-minute here because this actually hit TP out of session timings. So TP1 was smashed the same day, yeah, several hours later. So this is my TP1. I take 50% here, and then I leave 50% to run here. Only at this point do I now break even. At this point now, if price came back, it'll likely take the high. So we can actually fast forward a bit more. I think it was Frankfurt that pushed price in with some of the red folder news we had. So this came to TP dead on the spot. If I was in Frankfurt, this would be a clean buy. Obviously, I don't get straight Frankfurt, but yeah. So essentially, that's all I was looking at, guys. Now, if you haven't already subscribed, definitely hit that subscribe button. And we'll try to drop one of these every week, whether it's myself or Peach or one of our students or student leads from Elite. We will try to recap some trades and drop them, guys. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.